Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our day 13 of our 21-day yoga challenge. My name's Antoinette, and I'm still looking forward to practicing with you all today. Day 13, so we're well over halfway point of being together as we practice, as we move, as we breathe, as we focus a little bit on intention through meditation. We're going to start off today in Child's Pose. So just making our way down to our mats now. And I'm just going to move our screen for our Zoom students so that we can all be together. Coming down to our mats, I wanted to say thanks to Sibley Hospital as I'm making my way down as we continue this challenge together. They've been so supportive of the practice. Let me just let another student in as we continue. Make sure everybody is muted here. So good morning to Mandana. And good morning. Just going to make sure everybody's muted. Okay, so we can get started together. Remembering when we're down in our Child's Pose, sometimes getting down to Child's Pose first thing, our bodies might not allow that, right? So we could keep our hips very high and just start to walk the hands out in front of us as we sink the head low, bringing the third eye to the mat. If our knees do allow and we're able to bring our buttocks back toward our heels, then be there. And just letting another person in. I love that we have this wonderful sangha of students who come in and out of practice together. And so welcome to Julie. We'll just make sure we have everybody here. Great. As you sink in your Child's Pose, the eyes can be closed or the gaze can just be looking down at the mat as we bring that third eye to the floor, that area in between the eyebrows. Maybe you take a gentle rock back and forth from side to side so that you feel the hips. And again, this is if the knees allow and the body feels okay coming right into this posture. The forearms can be off the mat as you start to draw your elbows up. Or in a restorative way, the forearms could be down on the mat and you could just make this more of a yin posture of just coming into being here, right here where you are. Finding your breath as you start the practice of going inward, breathing in and breathing out. Resting in awareness in any moment involves giving ourselves over to all of our senses, in touch with inner and outer landscapes as one seamless whole, and thus in touch with all of life unfolding in its fullness, in any moment, in any place we might possibly find ourselves, inwardly or outwardly. Just some words from John Kabat-Zinn to start our practice and begin us in a grounding way. Gently move the hands over toward the right side, and we start to press in with that left pinky finger. Maybe we could even tent our fingertips if you wanted. And then we could start to push ourselves hips toward that left side to find a little extension now. And then pad the hands and see how that feels in a different way as you start to stretch and elongate the left side of the body. And then we'll start to walk the hands backwards. As we do, maybe we press in with the palms or the fingertips and sink the buttocks lower, again, if the knees allow, or keep the hips high, your choice. And then we'll start to walk the hands over toward the right side now. And I just ask you to find that right pinky finger and feel the contact that it makes with whatever surface is off of the mat. Being aware of where you are proprioceptively as you stretch. And then coming back toward the midline. Again, tent the fingertips on this one, letting the lower head, the upper head rest on the mat. And maybe doing a quick body scan to see where you arrived this morning without any judgment to start your day and your practice together. Patting the fingertips. Forearms come to the mat, and then we start to just draw the body up. We're going to come into a forearm plank. But before we do that, let's set ourselves up. So the hips come down toward the floor. Hands are starfished in front of us. Our elbows fall right underneath our shoulders. And then we gently take the hands as we cross them over one another to find our elbows. That helps us find some alignment on where we are now on the mat. And then we'll bring our hands back out in front of us so that the forearms are on the mat. Now we have kind of a perfect alignment for our own bodies. Take a moment now as we find ourselves in Sphinx Pose to take a look up with eyes and with chin, if that feels okay. If it doesn't and we have any issues with the lower back, the head can just be long and you can just look down toward the mat. We'll start to tuck our toes under now and come into a full forearm plank. Start off with the buttocks high in an exaggerated sort of way. The navel comes back toward the spine, and then we can start to settle the buttocks down without lowering them too much. You'll start to notice when it's too low because you'll start to feel that in your lower back. And remember, if this starts to become challenging, just take one knee down. You're still getting the benefits of your forearm plank. We start to take a good deep inhale in and an exhale out. So it feels less like work, and you start to focus more on the strength of your upper body because it's there. It's just a finding that accessing point of finding that, right? And we continue a good deep inhale in and an exhale out. We allow the shoulder heads to rise and maybe the chest to start to sink just a little bit. So we really access the shoulder blades, those rhomboid muscles that kind of innervate that area of the back. Another good deep inhale in, and as we exhale, sink the hips now to allow some relief to the shoulders. And then we'll bring the forehead down to the mat and start to draw the hands right underneath the shoulder heads. We'll hug the elbows in toward the body. Again, my head is up, but your head is down so that way the neck can just relax on the floor. We'll find a little push-up now. So as we inhale, we'll start to raise the head up. We start to access the biceps and triceps muscles of the body. And then we'll exhale as we lower. So just coming into a baby cobra. Remembering to hug the elbows into the body so that you protect the arms, elbows, and then exhale as you lower. Inhaling, rising, and exhaling as you lower. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, exhale. Last time, inhaling and exhaling. Start to draw the hands out like you're going to fly right out in front of you. Just giving a little bit of relief. You could shimmy the hips just a little back and forth from side to side. Again, the neck is long so the head can be down on the floor. We're gently going to lift that right leg up and flex the right foot. We'll point and flex the right foot now as we lift that right leg off the mat. We're pressing in on the shoelaces part of that left foot so we can access that right buttock and hamstring. Pause here as you point or flex, your choice, depending on making sure you don't have any cramps in the foot, and then we'll take a tiny pulse with that right leg. Again, with your head down, you're just protecting the neck and the cervical spine, but we're focusing right now on taking that right leg up in a micro pulse. Again, buttock and hamstring, increasing strength. Adding layers to this, taking the navel back toward the spine so you're accessing the abdominal core, engaging with that pulse. Bend that right knee, keep that right knee off the mat, and then start to make a tiny pulse up and down. And find your breath here. Start to hug that right knee slightly in toward the inner thigh so that you use a different set of muscle groupings. Maybe you find yourself experiencing that right buttock, right thigh in a different way, as opposed to if you took that right knee out toward the edge of the mat. You could even play around with it and see the difference. Continue that pulse. Now we're going to kick out with that right foot and then come back. Right knee still off the mat, kick out and then come back. Bending that right knee, kicking out and then coming back. Last time, and then right leg's going to come down. So you should feel that now. Just kind of shimmy the hips back and forth. If this doesn't feel good to have the arms out in front, now you could just simply take the hands and take your chin onto the top of one of the hands that's crossed over on top of one another. That's just another option. We're going to go over to the other side. So placing weight in the right foot, right shoelace is part of the foot, we're going to take that left foot off the mat. We're going to point and flex that left foot to start. Again, the head can be down. Navel back toward the spine, so engaging the core as you point and flex the foot. Now either keep the foot pointed or flexed, your choice, depending on what feels good to you, and start making some tiny pulses. So I wanted to start us off kind of in a way of Pilates, essentially, is what we're doing, right? We're making these micro movements and finding our breath. Being down on the mat. Again, all of it is intertwined as we move and breathe. And then if we go into our traditional yoga poses, we find strength and stability because we've done the work. We're going to bend that left knee now. Keep that left knee hovered off the mat, flexing that left foot. Start to draw that left knee in cap toward the inner knee of that right knee. And then gently start to make a tiny pulse up and down as you access left buttock and hamstring. And we breathe here. Notice if you're holding your breath or if you're continuing that pulse with a good breath in and out. Remembering that this movement is a meditative movement that helps our mind keep from wandering. We're just focusing on the breath and moving our bodies. Continuing that pulse. Now let's kick out with that left foot and then come back. Bending the left knee, kicking out, and then coming back. Kicking out and coming back. Kicking out and coming back. Last time, and coming back. Take that left kneecap way off the mat, and now come all the way down. Let's roll over onto our right sides. We're just going to do a little outer hip before we come up. And remember, you can come up onto your forearm if that feels good to you. As you flex the right feet, right foot stacked on top of the left, we're going to draw that right foot up on the in-breath. And now take it slightly forward, back to the midline, and now take it backwards and to the midline. So you can go up as far as you want. Find your balance, midline, back, and midline. So this is also getting our side, right, our side plank, our side back to the midline, side flanks rather, back stacked on top of one another, coming forward and stack, going backwards and stack, last time, and stack. Take it down and come back up. Take it down and come back up. Notice if you're starting to sink into that left forearm, right? Rise up as you root down with that left forearm and continue your pulse so that you're using that upper body without straining the neck. Coming up and then back down. Last time, and then come back down. Roll over onto your back and then roll over onto the right side. I'm just going to switch sides here so that way we can access that area. So remember, if you have any issues here, so you're rooting down with that right forearm, right hand is starfished in front of you, left hand there for balance. Inhale as you raise, exhale as you lower. Inhale as you raise, and exhale as you lower. Inhaling and exhaling. Adding layers now. Navel back toward the spine. Accessing that right side of the body. So we're finding some strength, almost like a little side plank. Put the legs down. On this one, raising up, let's go forward with that left foot and then come backward. We'll go forward and then come backward. We'll go forward and then come back. Forward and then back. When you go back, access that buttock muscle, hamstring, forward and then back. Last time. And then stack that left foot on top of the right and then bring it down. Let's roll over onto our backs now. Take a moment, soles of the feet on the mat. Just to settle here, finding your heels with your fingertips, allowing the body to just be for a few seconds, allowing a softening to occur in the upper body. Noticing if you feel a little different in that pelvic area, having created some tension, but also building some muscle. And then we breathe in and out, we find a softening in the abdomen, in the pelvis, in the upper body. Let's do a little figure four. So taking our left foot to our right knee, gently pressing that left knee away. Hopefully we feel that left outer hip now. And on the next inhale, taking that right knee up as we thread our hands through the back of that right hamstring. We start to draw that right knee in toward the chest. And we point and flex the foot of that right foot. We'll take a circle of that right ankle and then slowly start to draw the sole of that right foot up toward the ceiling, maybe deepening a hamstring stretch as maybe we draw that right knee in a little bit more. We could slightly take a little rock back and forth from side to side, just micro rock, so that we really feel that left outer hip. Sole of that right foot's going to come down to the mat, and we're gently just going to start to draw the left toes over down toward the right sides until they touch down, and maybe we take our left outer knee with our right hand, and we'll T-shape out that left arm. So again, we start to strengthen these areas, and then we stretch. So we find some openness in the body. Strengthen and then stretch. In this twist, that opportunity to take a good deep belly breath in and out. Contraction back, navel back toward the spine, and gently rock yourself back to your neutral zone with back on the mat. We'll take our left foot down and go over to the other side with our right foot now placed on our left knee. We'll gently push that right knee away from the body. As we inhale, we'll draw the left knee up off the mat and thread our hands through the back of that left hamstring. And we breathe here, feeling that release of the right hip, taking a circle of that left ankle. Going two directions. And then on the next breath, drawing the sole of that left foot up toward the ceiling As you draw that left leg in just a little bit more, coming into figure 4, reaching up, maybe pointing, flexing the feet. And then drawing that left foot down toward the mat. We'll gently start to draw the toes of that right foot toward the floor as we bring that right knee across the body toward the left side and T-shape out that right arm. Right shoulder head rests on the mat. We take a good deep belly breath in and out. We'll come back again as we right ourselves back on the mat and gently start to draw both knees in toward the chest so we can make our way up to some standing postures as we move. We'll take a little rock back and forth from side to side first. And then actually we'll make our way up to tabletop first and then our way up to the top. So rock and roll if you'd like, or just come up to a comfortable seat. Let's meet in staff pose together. Rocking sometimes feels very good. We bring our legs along, coming into staff pose, maybe just rocking a little bit back and forth from side to side so that we find ourselves rooting down with the sits bones and rising up using the abdominal core. Remembering if our hamstrings are tight, we can just gently bend our knees. The idea here is to be upright and vertical, right? However you arrive in that moment, you could then take one knee down and then the other, and that might feel good if your hamstrings are very tight. Again, using the core to bring the self up, bring the body up. Let's rise with the arms as we inhale. Good deep inhale, navel back toward the spine. As we exhale, we start to hinge forward toward the feet without rounding over the feet. We're just leaning forward. Again, finding that flat back, so maybe your arms are slightly up. Again, you could press one calf down and then the other. And then when you're ready, if you wanted, you could start to round over, finding your feet with your hands if you can get there. And if you can't, you're just leaning in that forward direction. Coming back, lifting up, using the core to extend and reach with the arms. And then exhaling down. I'm going to just face you. We're going to take our feet continuing out in front. We're going to bend that right knee and bring that right sole of the foot into that left inner thigh. As we press in with that left calf, we're going to rise up with the arms as we inhale. And as we exhale, hinge forward over that left leg. Now again, we can grab the outer edges of our feet if that is where we can be today. Or maybe our hands are just to our shins. Either way, it's fine, right? We're just accessing that left hamstring as we bend forward and forward fold. And we breathe here, and maybe we're able to go a little bit deeper in that stretch if that feels good to us. And then we'll walk ourselves back up again, start to bring that left leg out, draw the right arm up. Left hand comes to that left inner calf as we reach up and extend, and then on the exhale, let's head over toward that left foot. Again, you could grab that left outer inner foot or great toe and head over. Sometimes this doesn't feel good to some people. So just making your way, maybe just finding some length here as you press in on the inside edge of that foot, of that leg. And then let's come back again. We're going to take that right hand down, and then we're going to start to come up onto that right knee, right? Sole of that left foot down on the mat, and then we'll rise up with that left hand coming up. You can go as far as you want with left arm all the way over. We're just stretching here. And then come back down again. Start to draw that left foot back, L-shaping the leg, and then we'll just bring the right leg out to meet the left. Let's go to the other side. Taking that left foot as you bend it. So remember, if you have any knee issues, this is not comfortable to you, then focus on just stretching in the way that resonates with you. We're going to come up in a moment. We're going to come up to tabletop, so you'll meet us then where you can. Right? It's always accessible for all of us. We'll rise up now with both arms. Good deep inhale here. And as we exhale, let's forward fold over that right leg. We start to grasp the outer edges of that right foot if that's where we can go. If we can't go there, then we're just taking our right hand to our right shin. And we start to hinge over. Again, finding our way, noticing that maybe this side is different from the other. And as we breathe in and breathe out, maybe we're able to go into a deeper space than we were before. Coming back up again, reaching up as we inhale. We'll exhale down the arms and start to draw that right foot out toward the right side of the body now. Go out as far as it feels good to you, maybe bringing that left knee in just a little bit. Rising up as we inhale, both arms come up. And as we exhale, right hand's gonna come down. We're gonna take that left arm up and then take the left arm up and over the body toward the right side. Again, that right hand, that outer part of the right hand could be pressing in on the inside calf of that right leg. Or if you're able to grab your right foot just gently, then you could maybe make your way over a little bit farther, or even the great toe. So again, just kind of finding the stretch so you lengthen that left side of the body. And then come back again, windmilling that left arm over and down, make your way down toward the mat, slowly roll up onto that left knee, find weight and pad that right foot, and then draw that right arm up toward 12 o'clock. Again, we're just stretching here as we open up the front of the body. And then circle that arm over and down, come back again. Take that right foot back, L-shaping it, left foot back to meet the right. And back in staff pose we go. We're slowly gonna just come into Sukhasana. As we rise up with both arms, good deep inhale. And then as we exhale, let's just hinge over and start to take a twist over to the right side. Our right hand is gonna be behind us, so we start to take a look toward our right side. And again, we're twisting from the abdomen, so we take an inhale in and an exhale out as we twist. Come back, good deep inhale. As we rise up, both arms come up. And then as we exhale, let's twist over to the left side with our right hand to our left knee. Left hand right behind us, pressing in just below the sacrum. And again, we twist from the abdomen, not from the shoulders, and we take a look toward that left side. Good deep inhale with the belly breath in and out. And then we'll come back again as we rise up, midline, arms extended. And then exhale as we round over, slowly push yourself over onto your hands and knees. And let's come into tabletop together. Remember, we can pad our knees if we need to with a blanket, or just double up your mat, your choice. Hands are starfished out in front of us. We're gonna take that right knee and just hover that right knee a couple of inches above the mat. We start to access the core as we draw that right knee off the mat, and then we'll make a small circle with that right knee. As we round, maybe in a clockwise fashion first, again, using that right hip. Remembering if we have any issues on our wrists, our forearms can come to the top of the block. And we continue that circle of the right knee. We bring the navel back toward the spine using the core. Pause here. We're going to start to draw that right knee up. So we're L-shaping that right knee, a tiny pulse, up and down. Finding our breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Again, accessing buttock and hamstring. And now kick out with that right foot, and then bend the right knee. And kick out. And bend. Kicking out. And bend. Kicking out. And bend. Last time as you kick out and bend, let the right knee come down to meet the left. Come off of the hands to give yourself a break. Rise up with the arms as we inhale in. Take a circle with the wrists. Gently raise up as you inhale. Exhale down your right arm. Rise up with that left arm and then head over to the right side. Come back as you reach up and extend. Good deep inhale. Exhaling down left arm. We'll rise up with the right arm and then head over to the left side. Inhale as we rise up, both arms. Exhale as we lower. Hands come back down. We'll take the left knee off the mat. Remember, you can take your forearms to the block. We start to make a counterclockwise. So we're externally rotating that left leg as we circle and paint the face of a clock with our knee on the floor. Navel back toward the spine to use that motion. And we find our breath. Continuing that circle and continuing the breath. Left knee will hover now, keeping that left foot bent, left knee bent. We'll start to draw the sole of that left foot up toward the ceiling. Tiny pulses up and down. So again, just really focusing on strengthening parts of the body that help us then start to focus more on the upward postures as we move in and out. Or if we were to go into a vinyasa, as we flowed through in different postures from warrior 1 to warrior 2 to warrior 3 and so forth. Finding strength. As we press down, we root down with the palms of the hands, rising the shoulders up. You could slightly sink the chest slightly forward and let the shoulder blades come together. Let's kick out with that left foot now, and then come back again. As you kick out, access the abdominals, and then come back. And find your breath here. As you kick out and come back. Kicking out, bending, breathing, and bending. Taking a good deep breath in and out, and bending. Last time, and bend. Let the left knee come down. Let's come back into child's pose and sense how this feels now, having just worked just a little bit. So knees come out toward the edges of the mat as you sink the buttocks low. Come off of the wrist, forearms down, so you give the wrist a little bit of a break. And then just take the wrist and flick them, or take a circle with the wrist. You have this opportunity now in this child's pose to take an inhale in, and as you exhale, start to engage the pelvic floor muscles by tightening up pelvic floor and anus, coming up and tightening up abdominal core. And then letting everything relax, and then tightening up pelvic floor and abdominals. Exhaling, last time on the inhale, and the exhale. Coming back onto tabletop, let's tuck our toes under and come into downward facing dog. We start to lift the hips up off the ceiling, off toward the ceiling. Sinking our heels low, letting our head be heavy, starfishing our hands in front of us. Take the right knee down toward the mat, allowing that left heel to sink in. And then taking the right heel down, let the left knee come down toward the mat. You can go as low as you want or not. If this doesn't even feel good to you, you can stay back in your tabletop and just lift one leg and then the other. Or push back gently on the calf, as we often do. If you are in downward facing dog, let's inhale, take our left leg and bring it up. Rise up, pushing all the way up. Draw that left knee in slightly, and then kick that left leg back up again. Draw that left knee in, and then kick it back up. Last time, drawing it in, and then kicking it back up. So if this wasn't working for you, bring that left leg down, and you're in tabletop, you could do the exact same thing by just drawing the knee in and then kicking out. So either be in tabletop or be in your downward facing dog. Let's go to the other side. Inhale as we rise that right leg up. Bring it in halfway. Rise that right leg up and bring it in halfway. Right leg comes up, kicking up, and bring it in halfway. Last time as right leg rises and then comes back down. Gently bring the knees down, come off of the wrist, rise the arms up. We're going to come into a plank. We're just going to give ourselves a break for a moment. Take a circle with the wrist as you rise. Good deep inhale here. With arms extended, we're just going to twist over to the right side. Draw the arms out. Take a flick with the wrist. Arms come up. Come back to your midline as you inhale. Exhale, you twist over toward the left side. Arms come out. Flick the wrist. Draw the arms back up again. And arms circle over and down. Let's come back into our tabletop. We starfish the hands out in front of us. Let's take our right foot out and then our left. If coming into plank does not work for you, if it's too much, you'll just take one knee down and take one leg out. That's going to be enough. But find your way, and maybe you even give it a go for just a few seconds. Start off by bringing the buttocks slightly high, pushing away, and then bring the buttocks down. Enough so you find your alignment. You're looking down at the top of the mat. We can do just some small shoulder push-ups, keeping the arms straight. We just bring the chest slightly down and then back up again. Just micro movements so that you can access the shoulder blades. Again, we find our breath, inhaling and exhaling, focusing on upper body strength, pausing, taking the knees down. Gently push yourself back into a child's pose. Allow release on the wrist. Rotating the wrist. And then let's come back again so we can come up to standing. First, let's take our right foot out in front of us. Starfishing the hands as you tenting the fingertips or keeping the hands flat. Left knee can stay down or left knee can come back up. We'll come into a lunge. I like us just to start off this way before we were going into another set of postures. So we can kind of feel a nice opening as you come into a lunge. Let's draw that left hand up to 12 o'clock as we rise. Keeping the left heel off the mat. Left hand is going to come down. Left knee is going to come down. We'll bring our right knee down to meet the left. Come forward with that left foot. Keep the right knee down or bring that right knee off the mat. Your choice. Come into a lunge. Remember, you can also bring hands to your blocks if you want to raise the torso up. It's your choice. Good deep inhale here. As you rise that right arm up to 12 o'clock, opening up. And then right hand circles over and down. You can bring that right foot to meet the left, if that feels okay, or bring the left knee down and then come up to standing with us. So you could bring that right foot forward. We can come into a half lift with hands on the shins. Exhale, forward fold. For those who are using the knees, we're all going to meet up and standing together as we rise up. Good deep inhale here. Exhale, hands to prayer. Let's find stillness for a moment. We start to sense just being upright and vertical. Again, just like we were settling on our mats, just allowing ourselves to be right here. Gently rock up onto the ball of the feet, coming off with the heels. Taking a moment to go as high as you can go. And then allowing ourselves to find weight in the heel and starting to bring the toes off the mat. and then finding yourself with hands down in Tadasana. It's going to move the camera here. Reaching up as we rise up. Good deep inhale. Exhale, hands to prayer. We'll draw that right knee up. So after using some of the action as we were doing in this Pilates type movements, let's start to inhale as we rise up with that left leg. Wiggle your toes on the left foot so you feel the strength and stability of that standing left leg. We're gently going to bring that right knee out toward the right side of the body. I'm just going to face you. Yeah. And then we're going to bring it back in. So left hand can be on the hip, coming out, and then coming back. If you wanted more, you could kick out and come out and come back. So your choice. Coming out and then back. Coming out. So we're externally rotating, but we're using that standing leg to find some strength and stability. Last time as we come out and then come back and then gently bring that right foot down. Let's go to the other side. As we inhale in, reaching up. Exhale, hands to prayer, drawing that left knee up. We inhale, growing taller on the right side, and then we'll bring that left knee out and then come back. Remember, if you have a chair or you had a wall, you could use that too. Because the most important thing is that you're focusing on the core to draw that left knee up and then making that external rotation. Remember, we can add a layer to this by increasing the intensity, bringing that left foot out and drawing that left foot out and then coming back. Left foot comes out and then comes back. Find your way. Try it 2 ways. Last time, left knee comes back and then we come down. Just shake out the hips, make a circle with the hips. Other direction. You can go just finding your lower back as you take that movement. And then let's come to the top of the mat. Good deep inhale here. Exhale, Tadasana. Inhaling with arms up as we rise. Exhaling, right knee comes up. Inhale as we draw left knee, left leg up. And then let's step back to warrior one as we rise up with the arms, inhaling. We find that right pinky toe, make contact with the mat, sinking into that left knee. Good deep inhale. Exhale down our right arm. We'll rise up with that left arm, inhaling. Straightening the left leg, we'll flex the left foot and rise a little more. Finding our breath. We'll come back. Warrior two, reach up. As warrior one, as we reach up, good deep inhale. Exhale, hands to prayer, top of mat. Inhaling in. And exhaling, Tadasana. We'll inhale, we'll go to the other side, rising up. Exhale, hands to prayer, left knee comes up. Inhale as we go taller on the right side, using the core, and then exhaling, stepping back to warrior one. We rise up with the arms as we inhale. Keeping that right knee bent, exhaling, left arm comes down. We'll rise up with the right. Straightening that right leg and flexing the right foot. We'll rise a little higher, lengthening and extending. We'll come back to warrior one as we rise with both arms. Good deep inhale. Exhale, hands to prayer. Left foot meets the right. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling, we rise. Good deep inhale here. Exhale as we forward fold. Knees can be bent, protecting the lower back. Inhaling to a half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, coming all the way to stand. Exhaling, hands to prayer, right knee comes up. Inhaling, growing taller on the right side. Left side, we'll step back into warrior two, coming all the way back, windmilling the arms up and over the body. Let's find our drishti, our view over that left middle finger. Pausing here, inhaling. As we exhale, we'll take forearm to thigh, rise up with that right arm. If you have a block and you wanted to place it on the inside edge of that left leg, we could root down then and rise up to 12 o'clock that way. Just accessing it a different way. You can also take it to the outside of the leg as well, and maybe sink in a little bit deeper, finding your way. Inhaling. As we exhale, take that right arm up and over the body. Find that nice extension. We'll come back again as we inhale. Right arm comes to meet the left. We'll start to straighten that left leg now and come into a bit of a stretch on that left inner thigh. So again, hand can be down toward the inner edge of the leg. We can rise up again. We're here, we are in a triangle pose. Okay? Our hand could stay on the block. Your choice. Right hand to the hip. We're going to take that left leg as we bend it. We're going to circle, taking that right heel off the mat. Hands come down to frame that left foot. And we're gently going to start to bring our right foot to meet our left. Left foot's going to come all the way back. We're going to be in our warrior two. Let's start off with a lunge. If you have a block, take it on the inner or outer edge of that foot. Planting that left foot down now, perpendicular to the right. We'll start to bring the upper body up when wheeling the arms up and over the body. And find our drishti over that right middle finger. We start to hinge into that right knee. Broadening the collarbones, we'll reach out and extend as we take a good deep inhale in and an exhale out. On the next breath, taking right forearm to top of thigh, taking left arm up to 12 o'clock. Staying here, or taking our hand down to a block on the outer or inner edge of the knee, or leg rather. Left arm comes to 12 o'clock as we inhale, and exhale, we'll take the left arm up and over the body. Reaching and extending, lengthening through the fingertips, hinging into that right knee. Left arm comes back up to 12 o'clock. And then the left hand to the hip, we're gently going to start to rotate, taking left heel off of the mat, coming back into a lunge. We'll pause here. As we frame that right foot, we're going to take the left knee down and draw the arms up, inhaling, rising up. Go as high up as you'd like. If it hurts the lower back, keep the arms slightly forward. Find your way as you inhale. Start to take the hands. We can keep them out, not clasp them today, so that we can really use the side body as we stretch over like you have a beach ball in between your hands. Come back, inhaling, engaging the core, taking the hands over toward the left side. Inhaling, coming back up. And on the exhale, framing that right foot, we're going to take that right knee back to meet the left. Left foot's going to come forward, so you kind of know where we're going here. Inhale as we rise. Good deep inhale. Exhale. Inhale, we'll grow taller. Hands continue to be out, like in the shape of a warrior one hands. And then we'll take our hands over to the left side. Just bending. Holding that imaginary ball as we inhale, coming back up. Exhaling, using the core as we hinge over to the right side. And then we'll come back up again. Reach up and extend. Exhale as we take the hands, framing the left foot. Knees are going to come down. And here we are, we're going to come back down onto our stomachs. First to a forearm plank. So again, start yourself off with forearms on the mat. Gently cross the hands over so that you find the fingertips as they touch the elbows, crisscrossed. Now you have your alignment, and bring the forearms back as you starfish them out in front of you. Start to take weight toward the forearms. Hips are high to start. You can take one leg out and then the other. Again, hips are high just to start, so that way the buttocks are up toward the ceiling. You're using the core to bring your body up, and then start to sink the body low without dipping the torso too low. And let's stay here for a count of 8. and 7. Find your breath. 6 and 5, 4 and 3, 2 and 1. As you lower, bring the arms out in front of you. Head is down. We take opposite hand and opposite foot as you lift the limbs off the mat, gently lifting and lowering. Finding your breath, either pointing or flexing the feet as you lift them. Again, you can take a circle with the ankles as you lift the limbs off the mat and the wrist. Pause here. We're going to gently roll over onto our backs. Knees are bent with soles of the feet on the mat. We find our heels with our fingertips and a block, a ball, or a pillow in between our legs. We're going to go one breath as we lift up, hips up toward the ceiling, arms start to come overhead. We press up, exhale as we lower. As you lower, let one vertebrae go down at a time. Inhale, lifting, rising. Push with your fullest expression, squeeze the block at the tallest point, and then exhale as you lower. Inhaling as you rise, arms overhead. We squeeze the block with the inner thigh, engage the buttock muscles, and then come down. Inhaling as we rise, squeeze the block, exhale, lower. Inhaling, rise, push with the soles of the feet, squeeze the block, exhale as you lower. Remove the block, bring the feet together, knees together, hands down beside you, rise up with the hips, and then make a tiny pulse as you go down and then back up again. Breathing in and out, finding that pulse. Continuing the pulse. Let's go for 8 and 7, 6, 5, 4, make it count, 3, 2, and 1. Come down. Let the back settle as you take an inhale in and exhale out. Lower back on the mat. Gently start to draw the right knee in toward the chest. Extend the left leg long. Press in with that left calf. Gently start to bring that right leg, right knee out toward the right side of the body. Just like we were doing when we were in our standing posture. Right foot is flexed, and we take that left arm up and over the body to externally rotate. And then left knee draws down. We catch that outer right knee as we take the right knee across the body. We'll T-shape out that left arm, right arm, and start to take a look over toward that right outstretched hand. Reach and extend with that right arm. So lift it off the mat so that you reach and extend, you find length. Then let the right arm settle back down onto the mat. Right shoulder head rests. In the twist, we find that belly breath in and out. Right knee will come back. As we draw that right knee in toward the body, we'll switch it out. Take the left knee in, extend the right leg long. Press that right calf into the mat, and gently with our left hand, take that left knee out toward the left side of the body, rise up and lengthen with the right arm, one nice long line from right fingertips down to the right heel. Externally rotating that left knee. left hip. We'll gently, with our right hand crossing over, find that outer left knee and start to draw it over toward the right side and start to extend and T-shape out that left arm. Again, left arm comes off the mat as you reach and extend through the fingertips. As you do, maybe you're able to feel that left shoulder blade as it pushes into the mat just gently, and then allow it to settle down onto the mat. And we breathe in this twist. Left knee is going to come back, right knee is going to come back to meet the left. We hug the knees in toward the body, allowing the lower sacrum to come off the mat if that feels okay to us, and we'll gently start to rock slightly back and forth from side to side. Toes are going to come up toward the ceiling as we reach and extend. Here we are in staff pose again, just like we were doing when we were seated upright, but just feeling a different way of looking and accessing as we point and flex the feet. Maybe we take a circle with the ankle. And then we'll V-shape out the feet. Taking our hands toward our inner kneecaps, we'll gently push the legs away from the body, feeling the inner thighs, pointing and flexing the feet. Hands down beside us, beside the hips. We'll take the feet toward the ceiling, point, take them out, flex. Bring them together and point, coming out and flex. Coming together and point, coming out and flex. Coming together and point, coming out and flex. Last time, as we point, coming out and flex. Gently bend the knees, take the hands to the kneecaps and draw the kneecaps toward the armpits. Take a circle with the ankles. Feeling a release of the lower back. And draw the knees in toward one another. Hands down beside us. We'll bring the knees out. You can keep the feet together and draw the knees in. Bring the knees out and draw the knees in. So almost like clamshells, but you're on your back. So the toes are together and you're just bringing the knees out and then coming back in. Notice if you're bringing any sort of tension to the shoulders. So just allow the release in the shoulders, focus on the squeeze of the inner thigh, and then you're also using your abdominal core to take the knees out and bring the knees back in. Lower back is on the mat. You're just looking straight up toward the ceiling to focus on your breath. Last time, and bring them out. Soles of the feet come down onto the mat. Allow the lower back to release if you found any tension in that motion. Take the feet wider than the mat. We're gently going to just windshield wiper the knees over toward the right side. Again, you could goalpost the arms and just allow some openness to the chest. And slowly bring the knees back up toward the ceiling, and then we'll gently draw the knees over toward the left side, bringing that right kneecap down toward the floor. Drawing the knees back up, we'll bring the feet back together. Legs are long, arms come overhead. Just like we were doing on our bellies, we'll take opposite hand and opposite foot, flicking the wrist, pointing and flexing the feet, just taking any last movement before we go into our Shavasana. We'll circle the arms down and then make ourselves that 5 to 10% more comfortable, maybe placing a blanket over the body, bringing our feet out toward the edges of the mat, taking our head and gently lolling it back and forth from side to side, just feeling the neck release, having done the work of the body. Creating tension in the face by pursing the lips or furrowing the eyebrows, or making a giant smile and sticking out the tongue. Lots of different options to create tension and then relaxation in the body to get yourself into a place of deeper relaxation coming into your Shavasana. Find your way here and settle. Making our way down to our mats as we settle and ease into our Shavasana. We take a good deep inhale in and an exhale out, allowing a softening to occur. Our reading today comes from Pema Chodron. She writes about learning to stay. So just listening to her words from my lips as you inhale to go deep within, exhale to connect your body with the mat. In meditation, we discover our inherent restlessness. Sometimes we just get up and leave. Sometimes we sit there, but our bodies wiggle and squirm. And our minds start to go far away. This can be uncomfortable, and we feel it's impossible to just stay. Yet this feeling can teach us not about ourselves, but also about what it is to be human. All of us derive security and comfort from the imaginary world of memories and fantasies and plans. We really don't want to stay with the nakedness of our present experience. It goes against the grain to stay present. These are the times when gentleness and a sense of humor can give us the strength to settle down. The fifth instruction is stay. Just stay. Just stay. Learning to stay with ourselves in our own meditation is like training a dog or another pet. If we train a dog, though, by beating it, we'll end up with an obedient but very inflexible, rather terrified dog. The dog may obey while we say, stay, come, roll over, sit up. But he'll also be neurotic and confused. By contrast, training with kindness results in someone who's flexible and confident, who doesn't become upset when situations are unpredictable and insecure. So whenever we wander off, we gently encourage ourselves to stay. Settle down. Are we experiencing restlessness? Stay. Discursive mind? Stay. Aching knees and throbbing back? Stay. What's for breakfast? Stay. What am I doing here? Stay. I can't stand another minute. Stay. That is how we cultivate steadfastness, ease. When our emotions intensify, what we usually feel is fear. The fear is always lurking in our lives. In meditation, we practice dropping whatever story we're telling ourselves and leaning into the emotions and the fear. Thus, we train in opening the fearful heart, the restlessness of our own energy. We learn to abide with the experience of our emotional distress. Coming back to the present moment takes some effort, but the effort is very light. The instruction is to touch and go. We touch thoughts by acknowledging them as thinking, and then letting go. We touch thoughts as thinking, and then letting go. It's a way of relaxing our struggle, like touching a bubble with a feather. It's this non-aggressive approach to being here. Learning to stay. Peace. Peace to you. Peace to your body. Slowly start to make some movement to your fingers and to your toes. You can make fist with the hands and then open the hands up wide. Circle the wrist. Take some movement to the ankles. Maybe start to stretch the body as if you're just waking up in the morning. And then when you're ready, rolling over to your right or to your left side. You cradle your head in your arm and remember that loving kindness begins with you. And then today, it will transmit and ripple and affect every being that you come in contact with. Because you gave yourself this moment, this morning, to come to your mat to practice. Gratitude. Gratitude for the ability to move your body, to breathe independently. And then when you're ready, bringing yourself up to a comfortable seat, coming up into that vertical seat. Sitting in Sukhasana, our easy pose, or Hero's pose with a block underneath you. Or if you want, just staying exactly the way you are as you lie on the floor. This is your practice. However you arrive to finish, let's all bring our hands to prayer. We feel the fingertips touch one another. We feel the beating of the heart behind the hands, the aliveness of our bodies. In yoga, there's this belief that there's this divine spark in everyone located right here at our heart chakra. It affects the ability to love and to be open to possibilities. By gesturing the word namaste together, we acknowledge that spark and soul in another person. Literally translated, nama means bow, as means I, and te means you, right? So I bow to you. You bow to me. We share the word together. As we take a good deep inhale in, we'll exhale and share the word namaste. Namaste. Thank you so much for sharing this day 13 of 21 practice with me. We'll celebrate a practice again tomorrow for day 14 on Valentine's Day for those who celebrate it, on Sunday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. Thank you so much for sharing this practice with me, and I hope you have a beautiful day today. Namaste.